worst flirting I've ever seen. And this reminded Boyan of somebody that I was messaging like a few weeks ago. Um, and I haven't seen it, but I know the guy that I know which guy he's referring to, because he's the only guy that I've been speaking to lately that has reacted in such a way to me. Like, everyone else I've spoken to has like been polite, and like, so I meet people on apps, and then like I become friends with them or I don't become friends with them, but trying to like work my way through who wants to be friends and who wants to, be more than friends is quite a tricky thing. And obviously I get quite close with my friends, so I need to kind of like battle that kind of like sort of fine line where they don't read too much into the way that I talk or the way that I behave or anything to assume it means they can get their leg over, basically. And there was this guy that I was talking to. So like I said, everyone else was like, they got it. Some people, like, they try to push the luck, and I'm just like, no, like, I'm really not after that. And then they kind of, they go away, and then it's like, fine, it's fine. And then some of them really, really, really get it. And I've met some amazing people, and I've met up with one of them, and I spend quite a bit of time with him now. And I've got some more, like, dates booked in with some of these other guys, which will come up in the next couple of weeks, and they're really nice, and I talk to them every day, and they're very respectful on the fact that I have a partner, and any like connection that's made, it's all emotionally intimate, it's nothing to do physically, blah blah blah. They completely understand it, and they're actually amazing. They're really, 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 really nice guys. There was one, however, who he like started off really nice. I was talking to him for like a week, and he was kind of he was really nice at first, a little bit laddie. He was probably the only laddie guy that I spoke to, because I tend to prefer the non-laddie ones. I like sort of nicer, more gentlemanly or nerdy or quiet or shy kind of people. I don't really like the really like cocky, outgoing kind of ones. But this one, I was chatting to him, and at first he was like all fine. And then he just kind of switched. Now, apparently, according to Boyan, in this video, Penguins is going to talk about some bad flirting from a guy to women, and it's just like this guy. So once we've seen the video, I will continue my story on this guy.
Flirting with someone can oftentimes be challenging, and occasionally the only winning move is not to play. Sometimes it's best just to spam emotes and see how that goes. And today I want to take you on a journey. It's a 2-part epic like Homer's Odyssey, but if Homer had written about a weirdo who's desperately trying to make a woman fall in love with him by calling her autistic. Now, the backstory here, I'll go ahead and give you the cliff notes of the prequel. This gentle sir protagonist has just joined a new friend group and has found particular interest in this woman, and he reaches out to her trying to, like, talk to her, saying, I'll be honest with you, I don't understand you. And then he just goes on to say that she's quiet and he doesn't know anything about her other than she likes potatoes in the town of Salem, and that he just laments that he just doesn't know anything about her and she doesn't make eye contact with him. She asks, does that bother you? And he says no, which is a big fib right there. Lying is a sin, and now he's condemned straight to hell. This clearly bothers him because he melts down about it. He also doesn't keep that charade up for long. He immediately folds and says, I mean, somewhat, yeah. It actually hurts a lot. It keeps me up at night. I actually can't sleep. I'm crying all the time because of it. But it's a normal human response, so you can't blame me. Too late. I'm already blaming you. Can I ask a blunt question? She says, sure. And he says, are you autistic? Man, the Riz Lord has struck like a lightning bolt here. If those panties aren't sodden after that blunt question, I just don't know what works anymore. She says, no, are you? And he goes, lol, no. So what do you think about me? She says, in what way? He seems to get kind of offended by that, so he snaps like a Redditor adjusting his fedora. It's a simple question. What do you think about me? Madame, it's actually quite elementary, honestly. What do you think about me as a lover? She pulls no punches and just goes, I don't really think of you, so I'm not sure how to answer that. That was quite the fucking biblical smackdown right there.
Oof!
And he says,
Get back
Jesus,
down where you
okay, I'll
belong."
try something else. Why? At that point, you should just be like, yep, that didn't work. I'm gonna go do something else. I'm gonna go solo queue in League of Legends and wash away my troubles. Like, I don't know why he's gonna try something else. But he goes, why do you never laugh at my jokes? Not that I'm trying to make you in particular laugh.
God.
Why is it so hard to make conversation with you? It's like I'm reading text messages from Timmy Turner to Trixie. Like, what do you mean? Why do you never laugh at my jokes? I wonder what the dynamic of the friend group is like with this guy in there. Does he try to be like the class clown or something? So, for context, she is 23 years old, he is 24 years old, and I imagine the rest of the friend group is in that early 20s ballpark. So these aren't children, these are adults. And he's like, why do you never laugh at my jokes? I told you to pull my finger and I tooted. And you didn't even giggle. Like, what am I supposed to do? This is side-splitting comedy. Come on. Why is it so hard to make conversation with you? Are you autistic? He just texts so juvenile. What do you think about me? Do you like me? Circle yes or no. Or you're autistic. And then he, like, runs away. She responds saying, I'm more of a listener. Don't take it personal. I'm just shy, I guess. And then he immediately takes it personal. There's gotta be a reason. I'm better looking and more successful than 90% of the men you know. So what's your type? I want to get to know you. He's desperate. He's on his knees right now, shaking his hands. I must know. There's gotta be a reason. And she says, my type is a man who doesn't ask me if I'm autistic. I mean, that's pretty picky. Come on. Well, you're looking for a unicorn here. All good men accuse the women they're trying to win over of being autistic at some point. It's standard protocol. This guy's just following the textbook formula. He then says, can you blame me for assuming that? What the fuck? Yes, absolutely. That's a crazy thing to assume about someone, especially considering his whole purpose of the conversation was trying to get laid. Like, he's romantically interested in this person, and his way of spitting game is to ask if they're autistic. That's such a weird thing to do. And then he goes, don't get me wrong, you're pretty, but I definitely considered the possibility you're autistic or definitely on the spectrum somewhere. One of the number one signs of autism is not laughing at this guy's jokes. He looked it up on WebMD, and he was just, for her own sake, like, concerned for her well-being. He's actually looking out for her. She says, lol, what? Reflect on your words when you go to bed tonight. See ya. Just trying to end this conversation, because it's going downhill so quick. This is an avalanche of dog shit. And he just goes, wow. Owen Wilson's there for a moment and then just says, I think you're jealous. I spent the night with redacted, and you went home alone. This is classic. When everything goes tits up, it's like, you're actually just super jealous of me because I'm slamming ham on the regular. I'm fucking your friends. I am having sex with women that want me because it's impossible for a woman not to want me. You just must be autistic. That's what's going on here. And you're jealous now. That's
jealous autistic. That's it.
You're the problem, not me. And you're lucky that I even gave you the time of day. Your loss. He then clears the air here, making sure that it doesn't trouble her mind that Casanova is spoken for, and he also doesn't want any rumors to spread in the friend group, so he clarifies, don't worry, nothing happened. We just watched Netflix in bed. No need to be jealous. And then drop this emoji. I have a hunch she really wasn't jealous. Just a guess. She doesn't seem interested. And I think you have ensured that she will never be interested by trying to, like, diagnose her with autism through text message flirting. Now, the next day, she made a follow-up post because he had an even bigger, like, psychotic break here. So that was all part one. Part two, he comes back bigger and badder than ever here. The sequel went insano style. So he texts her saying, what's your problem? Is this some sort of trauma response? Crying, laughing emoji, which I don't think there was any laughing, just crying behind the phone on this one. I just don't get it, blank, using her name. I've known you since March 12th, and for whatever God knows what reason, you decide to treat me like complete shit. You hug redacted, but not me. You share a couch with redacted, but when I join, you get up and leave. Do you think I'm fucking stupid? Or blind? Or what? The fuck did I ever do to you? I'm pissed off because you're clueless and extremely oblivious to the point you don't appreciate a good thing when it's directly in your face. What the hell is even that, brother? A good thing when it's directly in your face? The only thing that's directly in her face is your accusations that she might be autistic. Like, what are you talking about? You're LARPing as her, like, doctor and nothing else. Even just setting aside the baffling autism accusations, there's no even semblance of romance behind his texts. They're just aggressive. Like, and nothing beyond that. They're just weird. So I don't know why he's thinking that he's doing such a good job with the game that she should be enamored with him. But then he just goes, I just, period, don't, period, get, period, it, period. Goes full-blown rock bottom. I just don't get it. Help me understand her name. He keeps repeating her name. So he just keeps saying
Oh my
it over
God,
and
it's
over
the same
again.
thing.
Just saying her name in
Just
these
wait,
texts.
guys. Oh my God.
And she just says, lol, what? She says, are you fighting yourself right now? Am I involved in this argument? Man, she is just absolutely slapping this guy. It's so good.
My God.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's just fighting his inner demons here. This man's battling ghosts in the paranormal dimension. He says, this is all about you, her name. Stop acting so obtuse. You may not be autistic, but you sure act like you're into trains or some shit. Oh, I don't know what is going on in his fucking frontal
got to do
lobe
with
here.
anything?
It just gets worse and worse. She says, LMAO, why do you keep saying my name? Trains are cool. Is there some unresolved childhood trauma I need to know about? Because what the fuck is your problem? I can help you out if that's the case, but you have to let me take the first step and stop being so guarded all the damn time. It's impossible to get through to you. Why would you be asking about these things? If there's some childhood trauma, I need to know about it. Also, let's just go ahead and assume she's like, you know what, there is some childhood trauma, and then she, like, spills her guts to him. This would be, like, the worst person to confide anything in.
Literally.
This is a guy who's already having a conniption because she doesn't laugh at his jokes and doesn't make eye contact enough with him. Like, I highly doubt he would be a good confidant for anything heavy. This guy would immediately be like, oh, well, childhood trauma, that's another symptom of autism. It's ridiculous. You're lucky you have me around. Honestly. Says her name again, which is so creepy. He just keeps throwing her name into every message he sends as if it's some kind of, like, dramatic moment in a television series. Please, I know you hear it all the time, but you're very pretty. I like you when you're not acting like an autistic, frigid bitch. Respectfully. Hey. That silver tongue's coming out in full effect right now. He's becoming irresistible. March 12th, and I haven't proven myself enough to you yet. Real quick, March 12th is not that long. It's not like you've fucking known her your whole life or anything. Like, what are you expecting to do in this span of time to make her fall in love with you? What do you mean you haven't proven yourself enough to her yet? What are you trying to do, like backflips and shit?
God.
Do you just keep trying to tell, like, the worst jokes imaginable, hoping to get some kind of pity giggle out of her? Like, it's so incomprehensible. He thinks that it's been such a long time. You've been single all this time. Ages. Almost 2 months you've been single. Like, it's crazy. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute. It's extremely suspicious, actually. Why would a girl like you be single? What are you hiding? I don't understand what you want, in all honesty, lol. First step of what? Referring to his previous message where he asked her to, or when he said that he wants to take the first step, but she needs to let him. She teases him with some sarcasm here. LMAO, okay, I'm hiding so much, dude. First step of our potential. He's already envisioned 5 different universes where you two are madly in love, and the potential it's incalculable. I can make your life 10 times better than it is now. I'm so sure of that, I'd give that to you in writing, which is legally binding through text messages. You're beautiful, her name again, and I'm what you want in a guy, correct? Incorrect. Where did you even get that assumption from? I'm exactly what you want in a guy, right? The one who just keeps accusing you of being autistic? That's what you're looking for, isn't it? No? Well, I guess you have some unresolved childhood trauma then, and you're just a frigid bitch, I suppose. And then he just says, you're joking. You're performing. he can't accept
How is he still
that she
going?
wouldn't be interested in him. You're putting on a teach me a lesson or something stupid, lol. I don't for a second believe you. Her name again. What does that mean? You're putting on a teach me a lesson? What is that? Wait, I don't understand.
Right,
that doesn't make any sense. I don't have to date you just because you find me physically attractive. That's like consent 101. Believe what you want. Don't forget, I'm suspicious. Yeah, you are, because there's no way you're single. You either have a severe mental disorder or asexual. And she says, so anyone who's not into you falls under that category, LMAO. Interesting. I love so many things about you. Her name again. The way that his mind is able to switch gears is pretty impressive here. You must have a severe mental disorder. I love so many things about you, Snickums. Oh, sweet pea. Oh, my goodness. I just want to cuddle up inside you and let our bodies perform fucking friction on each other till we start a fire with our love. Genuinely, I love you as a friend, and I love you as a person. I want to make you smile. Smile emoji. That's so cringe. Oh, that's so fucking bad. I want to make you smile. Like this. See Exhibit A, for example. It's the smiling emoji with a little blush.
Oh.
He's trying to be mushy here after insulting her, doing nothing but insulting her for the entire, 2-day conversation. What's your height, by the way? All of my exes have been 5'9 plus, so taller than you, Winky. But you have gorgeous eyes and tasty lips for sure. You look healthy. You make me want to become a daddy.
Oh!
Who took his phone? Who did he just give his phone to? This can't be the same guy. This is full-blown Jekyll and Hyde. It cannot be the fucking same guy. Literally, the previous message before he tried this approach was saying that she must have some kind of severe mental disorder or be asexual because she's still single after 2 months. Oh, boy. Jiminy Christmas.
Oh, my God. I can't wait to show you guys a conversation that I've had.
That's the
so
last
similar.
time they communicated, at least as of right now. She shared the text messages with the rest of the friend group, and they found him to be extremely obnoxious and creepy, so apparently they kicked him out and they don't really talk to him. Can't imagine why. Seems like such a good, stable individual, I suppose. Yeah, I just wanted to share this a little bit. If you're going to try and flirt with someone, maybe don't follow this guy's roadmap. Not very effective. That's about it. So, yeah.
So, the reason why this is relevant, right? So, like I said, I use apps to meet people. I'm on various different ones. Some are a bit more dating orientated, and some are more like mummy apps, that like mummy as in like mum friend apps, blah, 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 blah. And I use all sorts of different ones to try and meet people and yada, yada, yada. So obviously a lot of the guys that I meet, you have to kind of wade through the guys that are trying to sleep with you or want to date you or blah, 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 blah. And I've made it very clear in my profile bio that I am in a relationship. I am not searching for a relationship, but I like making close connections. Let me bring the big screen up. I like making close connections with my friends and such like that. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, blah, blah, blah. So I've spoken to quite a few people, and quite quickly you can tell the ones who are just trying to get, the guys who are just trying to get laid. And so obviously very quickly I'm like, yeah, cool, I ignore them. And then I've met some amazing guys on there, like I said, and I spend a lot of time with one of them, and I meet some of the other ones, everything. But there was this guy in particular, right? And obviously I won't say any names or anything like that. There was this guy in particular, and he was a little bit more laddie than what I usually kind of would talk to, because I just assume I'm a bit I stereotype people, and I just assume that laddie means they're going to be a bit playerish, and I'm a bit not really into that. So, but this dude's profile made it seem like he wasn't going to be like that. So I swiped him in anyway. I started chatting with him, and he was quite a happy chappy. And he was really fun and all that kind of jazz. Basically, we were talking for a little while. And then usually what I do is if I get on well with them, after a few days, whatever, I like to swap to WhatsApp, because who wants to keep opening 1,000 different apps to try and talk to a few different people? So if they do well, they like to swap to WhatsApp. I like to swap to WhatsApp so that I could keep them all in one place. And then, so this guy was talking, we were talking about cute stuff. So we were talking about kids, as in my kids, and kids that he spent time with, what he'd been up for his day, what I'd been up to in my day, general stuff, things about there was he was fine. And every now and then he would drop into the conversation that he would be happy to delete my name and end the conversation and never speak to me again. But he would do it in such a passive way that it was just a bit kind of oh, okay. So I'd like to gloss over a little bit. He would we'd be talking and he would just kind of go I would make some silly comment oh, like, I don't know, sorry it took me ages to reply, I was doing this. And he would be like, oh, it doesn't bother me if I never heard from you again. I would just delete your number and move on. Right? And I was just a bit like, okay, cool. But everything else was kind of normal. And obviously a lot of things get misconstrued in messages. So I was a bit like, okay, maybe the punchline of that joke fell a little bit flat in messages, like, you know how it is. So I kind of ignored it. Anyway, so we carried on. We were talking for about a week. Bear in mind, we were talking for about a week. I find that a long time to be talking to somebody if you're just trying to sleep with them when they've made it very clear that you're not going to sleep with them, right? I cannot express enough how upfront, right from the get-go I am, that I am not single. Like, oh, here is my beautiful man. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not single, I'm not after, blah, blah, blah. And obviously they ask, oh, refocus. They ask lots of questions and they're kind of like, oh, what are you sort of looking for then? I'm like, I'm looking for like close, good friendships, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, then we're like, should we swap over off this app? So I'm like, yeah, cool. I was like, should we swap to, and I was like, let's swap to WhatsApp because that's what I like to use. I like all of my messages in WhatsApp. He didn't want to give me his number. He's like, I'd rather use Snap. And I'm like, I don't really like Snap. So I would only use Snap if I absolutely have to. If somebody really, really, really doesn't want to be on the other apps. And I won't check Snap very often because I just don't really like it. I think it's a bit of a tacky app because we all know what Snap is for. Snap is so that you can send pictures to each other that are untraceable and conversations that are deletable, and you can see when someone screenshot your conversation. Like, that's the only reason for using Snap. It's to be sneaky. But he didn't want to use WhatsApp, so we went over to Snap. And then, like, so I've got the pictures, because although you can't screenshot on Snapchat, what you can do is take another phone and take a picture of your screen. Ta-da! I have pictures of the entire conversation. And I do this to most people I have Snap conversations with, in case they ever decide to, I don't know, be weird and go crazy on me. So I do this a lot. So everybody, just so you know, if you talk to me on Snap, it's not private. I will take a picture of the conversation, or if you send me dodgy pictures that you shouldn't send, I will store the snaps, just so you know. Just, you know, if I receive unwanted information, so that I can do this and I can shame people. Because why? He was like, basically, why did I want to use Snap, and why didn't I want to use Snap and I wanted to use WhatsApp? So I basically said, the difference is people think they can send weird stuff in here. They're more likely to misbehave. And he said, well, that makes them bloody stupid. And then we had some jokes. It was all fine. So bear in mind, this has been going on. Why would you waste this much time to react the way he does? Lots of like, what music do you like? What are you up to today? What have you had for dinner? So then he basically said, maybe we could do a voice call at some point, right? And I said, that's scarier than meeting, with a face and some laugh cry faces. And he went, how'd you work that out, lol? And I said, however, hold that thought till tomorrow. I need sleepies, laugh cry faces, and I went to bed. So he's like, haha, sleep well. You could tell me tomorrow how you think voice calls are more scary, even though you stream, etc. So this is all fine. Like, so far, he hasn't said anything out loud. I'm like, yeah, I will. No, he's like, night, Tasha. Right? I find it really odd when people say my name, by the way. I find it really weird when people, in a conversation, when we're already talking. So like she said in this video, why do you keep saying my name? I find that really, really, really weird. If I'm already engaged with you, then why, Dasha? If I'm already like engaging with you, then it's like you don't need to say my name. It would be like me doing like this. If I wanted Boyan's attention, I'd go, Boyan, and he'd look at me. And then if I say, what's for dinner? And he says soup. And I'm like, well, I don't want soup. And then he says, well, that's all we got. And I'm like, but Boyan, I don't want soup. And then he's like, well, maybe we can have some chicken. And I'm like, Boyan, what do you think about this? If I keep saying his name, we're already talking. Why am I saying his name? There's no need to say the name. Like, you don't need to say someone's name. Anyway, so he's like, night, Tasha. So I'm like, cool, yeah, whatever. So I'm like, no. I don't think I said anything. Next morning, I'm like, morning, how are you, blah, 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 blah. He made a joke. Did you, like, so he's like, morning, busy day. Did you sleep well? Did you dream of me? And I said, yes, of course I dreamt about you. You stole my food and I pushed you off a cliff. That counts, right? Making a joke about it. And he was like, well, that's fucking rude. So, you know, but it's still like all jokes and banter. So then he's like, apparently a voice call is more scary than meeting. So you say, how? Right. So this is where he starts getting weird. I'll explain to you why And it was a joke, but me pushing him off a cliff because like, that's the point. That's all funny and jokes. It's all fine. So now, here's my logic and why I didn't want to do a voice call. I don't like phone calls. I think phone calls are really, really uncomfortable. I don't see the point in calling somebody that I don't know to talk to them for 30 minutes for no reason other than just to talk. If I was calling my sister to tell her about some juicy gossip, actually, to be fair, I'd probably text her, but I could call my sister about juicy gossip. I could talk to my dad, and it's like, but like, to talk to somebody on the phone is so specific. Like, you have to allocate 30 minutes of your time. So you can't do anything else. You can't be with your kids. You can't be watching telly. You can't be doing anything. You need to stop everything that you're doing and talk on the phone for 30 minutes. Yes, does it take all my attention? It takes so much easier. Exactly. So when I'm messaging people, I'm still getting on with my day. So every time I stop to message my new friend who I spend a lot of time with, obviously I talk to him a lot. I'm not sat there like, I can't move until I'm messaging him. I'm messaging him whilst I'm doing the dishes or whilst I'm going to the toilet or whilst I'm doing my makeup. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so much easier. But there's like, being on the phone, and not only that, you have to specifically talk non-stop. I don't know this dude. I do not have enough to say to him to talk on the phone. And then there's going to be these weird, awkward silences where I have nothing to say. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know him. There's no purpose for the phone call. His logic, however, his logic is fine. His logic is fine. His logic is, if you meet somebody on the internet, you message, then you voice call, then you video call, and then you meet face to face. Now that's fine. If that's his process for meeting people online, not a problem. I think a lot of girls should do that. Make sure that the guy is who he is, blah, blah, blah. I am the complete opposite. I'm like, talk. Let's go out for dinner within a week. Like, I want to meet this person straight away, and I will meet them in a public place. Then I have very specific rules in place when I meet them. So we had to meet at a place that I know, so that I can run away if I need to. The second we get there, I will take a selfie with said person, and then I will send that selfie back home to Boyan, so he knows. I have a tracker on my phone, so which we turn on when I go out with new people, so that he can see where I am. And I will be at specific locations, and he knows the addresses of where I'm going to be. It's all very. If I wear heels, I have flats in my bag, so I can go to the toilet, put my flats on, and bolt if I need to. Right. So I do all this other stuff to make sure I'm safe. If this dude wants to do the video, the voice call, and then the video call, and then the meeting, because he didn't want to waste his time meeting somebody who maybe he can't talk with a lot, that's fine. Not a problem. So he's like, apparently a voice call is more scary than meeting. So you say, ... How? I said, it's like when you're on a call, you're forced to talk. Like, in person, you have whatever you're doing to distract you. So say you have dinner, you have the ordering and eating, etc. He said, you mean you want to ignore in person and use stuff to distract you? Wink face. I was still typing. So I said, but on the phone, you need to be able to hold a conversation the whole time. And when you don't know a person, it being the first time you speak, there would be plenty of awkward moments, lol. With being a person, you could fill the silence moments with stuff, like eating or whatever. He then tried to voice call me on Snap. Tried to call me whilst I was typing. So I rejected it. Kind of took it as a joke. I said, cheeky git, lol. I said I nearly pressed accept by accident whilst I was typing. Then I said, not ignore. If it goes well, there'll be non-stop convo, lol. I said, I don't talk on the phone to hardly anybody. He said, that's bollocks, lol. I said, ha ha ha, how is it? He said, only gets awkward if you're both like that, ... I'm not, I'm a good talker with my with my soft, calming, relaxing voice. I'm going to reread that for you. I'm a good talker with my soft, calming, relaxing voice. That's what he said. I said, good Lord, laugh, cry faces. I'm still going to say no. You need to level up loads to have me on the phone, laugh, cry faces. So I use a lot of emojis when I'm talking, loads, to make sure that my point is always across in the correct way. He said, Plus, I don't chat to anyone by message all the time if there's no voice calls and then video calls. That's how I roll, girl. I said, and I'm talking only family really, haha, as into the phone call bit. I said, you ready? Here we go. I said, so to him, he doesn't chat with people in messages. I said, we're in a pretty awkward situation then, aren't we? With a laugh cry face. He says, not for me, no, lol, ... I'll happily delete you and end the chat. Ready? Here comes the flip. Bear in mind, we talked about nieces and nephews and cute babies and everything and da-da-da. It's been so lovely. He was so flirty in like a nice, normal way. No pushy for nookie. No pushing for dates or anything. He even said he found it like interesting and intriguing that I could be close with guys and not sleep with them, because apparently that's like a revelation these days. Did you know that? Being like emotionally close with guys and not opening your legs for them is a revelation. Who knew? I'm clearly patient zero for being friends with boys and not laying on my back for them. I mean, I had no idea. I thought there were lots of us, but no, apparently it's just me. Only me. I'm the only one in the world who exists. Are you ready? Anyway, who knew? So, I won't chat to a 37-year-old full-grown woman that can't have a chat on the phone. That's daft and childish, and I won't be involved with that. I said, I mean, that's a rather extreme way to think of it, but okay, laugh cry faces. I just like face-to-face interactions than sitting on the phone. I find phone calls pointless, forced, and not true interactions. Anything that can be said on the phone can be done in person whilst having a good time. But way to make a person feel like you want to be part of the conversation, lol, rather than just continuing it because they are doing things your way for now, laugh cry faces. He said, it's not extreme at all, ... You're on a phone and phones are made for talking on, ... The problem is you find it awkward because you're sucked into social media and the internet, and that's made you feel like that, ... It's my way or we end the chat, your choice. And you wanted my phone number. For what? Exclamation mark, question mark. You won't talk on the phone, so you don't need my number. My way or we end. I said, yeah, nah, lol. I wanted your number because I prefer using one app than lots of different ones to message. I prefer messages because you can answer them whenever it suits you. So I could say something, then get busy for half an hour and then reply and carry on the convo. Not sit and spend a chunk of time at one time and then that's it. I feel it's awkward because I don't know you. As I said already, I talk to people on the phone when I'm close with them. Phone calls are boring and a waste of time when I wouldn't have a chunk of time to spend on it at once. I have nothing to say on a call that I can't do in messages, in my own time. And yeah, nah, none of this my way or the highway stuff. That's just not going to work for me, lol. I'm a 50-50 kind of, find the balance kind of person. So I'm not the kind of person you should be talking to if you want... Hang on, where is it? If you want a more submissive girl who would do everything how you want. But I do hope you find her, with a little love heart. He said, listen, Tasha. Whoa, he named me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I am listening. Woo! Right. Well, hang on down a minute. Isn't it past your bedtime, young lady? Just say, tell me to go to bed. Say, Tasha, go to bed. And then, you know, I'll obviously do as I'm told. He goes, listen, Tasha, I'm the only single person here. You're not. You're in some kind of odd relationship and you're wanting to meet me and not talk on the phone, ... That's not going to happen. Until I've spoken to you on a call, then I can make a judgment based on what I ask and hear back. And it's not about a submissive girl. I don't want to meet anyone until I've had messages and then voice calls and then video calls. Then that breaks the awkwardness instead of meeting some random in a relationship or whatever it is and getting awkward in person. I've been doing all this online shit a lot longer than you. Reason he says that's because I've never used apps before to make friends or meet people or anything like that. But apparently that means I haven't been on the internet. So, you know, like, even though I'm like here on the internet, but whatever. I've been doing this online shit a lot longer than you and is still single. I wonder why. You may think I don't know much about all this stuff, but believe me, I know more than you. I just don't know the gaming side. I know what I'm doing, and that's why it's voice call or some when, or this ends. I said, I feel like you're getting... Oh, hang on, there's a flash. I feel like you're getting mad over something that doesn't need to be mad about. Yes, I'm in a relationship. No need to call it odd. Also, no need to imply, because you've been using these apps longer than me, that I'm unaware of how life works. Or that I'm implying you don't know anything because I use the internet a lot. He said, and this is my point, lol, ... You think I'm mad because you're reading messages how you want to read them, ... If I said that on a call, ... You would not think that. I said, I don't want to do voice calls. You have your way, I have mine. I'm more old school and would rather go out with someone immediately than talk on the phone. There's nothing wrong with your way or with mine. They are just different. So if that's how you need/want it to be, then yeah, we're not a good match, which is also fine. There are plenty of girls out there that will want it the way you want it, with the calls and such, and there's plenty of guys and girls out there that will, for me, that would like it my way. Both ways are fine, but if you need it straight up your way, then that doesn't work for me because I don't like it that way. And I said, but also, if you said that on the phone, if you had said that on the phone to me, I wouldn't have had time to think of my response and probably got really mad that you called my relationship odd, which is rude when you don't know me or my partner. Whereas in messages, I had time to react calmly and accordingly. And as we both said, you want it your way, I don't want it that way, so we don't match. That's okay too. Not everyone matches with everyone else. He said, you think I would have called it odd if we were on a call? I said, why would you insult me more in messages than on the phone? Lol. I said, okay, bye-bye. I know, but I kind of felt like I needed to kind of like say to you, not you're a twat, but like, you're being a twat. Stop kind of acting like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're kind of like a knob. Like, he needs to be told. Because I bet the only girls he meets that do as he says, or he's the kind of person who will come out and be like, oh, I was talking to this girl and she was well with, but it's okay, I put her in her place. It's like, no, fuck you. Actually, you didn't put me in my place. I put you in your place, you twat. Do you know what I mean? Like, these kind of guys, they don't get people respond back to them because it's too much effort to respond back to them. I'm like, actually, no. You need a fully grown woman to tell you what absolute arsehat you are. He probably won't learn anything from it anyway, but I'll be damned if I get told that my behaviour is weird so he could go away feeling self-righteous like he was the one who told me I was weird. Do you know what I mean? Like... Oh, it drove me crazy, but I was like, no, I will tell you that you are wrong. I said, so why would you insult me more in the messages than on the phone? He said, it's typing it, do it quick. I don't speak how I type. I told you. A soft, calming, relaxing voice. That's how I am. I said, well, see, no, I don't understand that. I type exactly how I talk. The only difference to my messages is that I can catch a breath before I react. But the way I word things is exactly how I talk. Anyways, this all seems kind of moot now, doesn't it? I don't want to do phone calls with strangers I haven't met, and you do. So we should probably stop debating this. He says, some people say it's odd. Some people would say it's odd, though. Maybe that's how I deeply feel about it. If it was normal, everyone would do it. I said, and some people think it's odd going on an app to meet people. Does that mean it should be judged? Of course not. Anyone who judges another negatively for their life choices is rude and the closed-minded one. We all live, act, and behave differently. He said, you've not explained anything to do with this relationship. What's the deal with it? What do you want? You need to explain that you joined a site and you're in a relationship, but according to your profile, no sexual contact or anything. It's almost like you're an escort. And you want guys... Hold on. And you want guys, company, etc. Meals, ... drinks, ... nights out, ... whatever, ... gifts, ... So this is where he's exactly like this guy in the video we just watched, where he says, are you autistic or do you have childhood trauma? Am I an escort? Because I want to be friends with men as well as women. I'm an escort. Because I won't sleep with them. Are you an escort? I said, wow. Just wow. I want friends. That's it. I don't need to explain myself to anyone. If someone asks me a question, I'll answer it. I'm not going to force that on anyone if they aren't interested in it. I am in a relationship. This means I get close with some of my friends, and it might appear too close for some relationships, but my partner and I trust each other completely to know it's all platonic and doesn't negate our love and relationship with each other. I don't want money, gifts, etc. I have never ever asked that from a guy. I pay my own way whenever I go out with any friend, whether it's a guy or girl. Annoyingly, by the way, he actually knows what my Twitch is. My Twitch because we were talking for so long, and he was so normal that he's probably going to see this, which is hilarious. The 180 is insane. It's absolutely crazy. I kind of wish I still had the other messages, but he removed me from the app, so I can't go back and get them to show everybody how nice and normal and lovely he was. It's crazy that he just went boo because I wouldn't do a phone call with him. Let's just reel back to that moment. I wouldn't do a phone call with him, so he did this. It's crazy. I said, I don't want money, gifts, etc. I've never ever asked that from a guy. I pay my own way whenever I go out with any friend, whether it's a guy or girl. If it was at the point of receiving gifts, say for birthdays, etc., they would be getting them from me too. My closest friend is a guy, and he is practically part of my family now, and we split the bill completely for everything. If you don't understand what it is, you could have asked. You didn't. To ask a girl if she is an escort... I've lost it. Hold on, because I have to scroll to the next page. To ask a girl if she is an escort because she wants to be emotionally close to people without sex is an extreme thing to say. I think this ends our conversation. I hope you find what you're looking for. And then he said, you seem to love the word extreme. It's ridiculous. You live in a fairy world, Natasha. He full named me. You live in a fairy world, Natasha. I'm an old school guy. I'm not interested in childish people that are scared of phone calls and people that join sites looking for friends. It's odd. I'm not interested in you, not interested in meeting you. You can go now. That was how the conversation ended. Literally like this guy we've just watched. It was like, but at that point, when he was half through that, he's like, phone call or no phone call? Phone call or we end? No, you need to do a phone call. It's like, if I had turned around and said, okay, let's phone. Sorry, let's phone. At that point, would he have gone, okay, cool, yeah, let's phone. And then been the happy, charming dude again. He reminds me of a couple of people that I know, who I also won't name, because, you know, like public and whatnot. But I could think of a couple of people that he reminds me of. And, but like, it's actually, it was so... crazy how he flipped. And like I said, I've met some incredible people through all these various different apps that I talk to, and most of them just kind of like they just sort of fade away and they don't turn into like meeting up and stuff like that, which is fine. Like I've been chatting to some women, they fade away, chatting to men, they fade away, blah blah blah. But to call me an escort or ask if I'm an escort because I want to be, this doesn't even make any sense to me, because I want to be emotionally close to people. I want to share emotional connections with people, guys. I don't want to open my legs, so that makes me an escort. Like, wouldn't it be the other way around? I want gifts, and then I will open my legs. Do you know what I mean? Like, how does me not having sex make me an escort? Like, how mental is that? And all because, and I thought at first I was quite diplomatic. I thought I handled it quite diplomatically from the start, where I was like, it's fine. You like that, and I like this, and that means we're different people, and that's fine. And he said, no, your relationship's odd. This is odd. This is weird. You live in a fairy tale. You're daft. You're scared of phone calls. You're a 37-year-old grown woman, blah, blah. It's like, whoa. What did he expect to achieve after calling me all these passive-aggressive names for me just to go, oh, wait, no, you're right. You're right. Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you for teaching me the error of my ways. Like, oh my God, no, of course. Let's do a phone call. Be my honey. I want to be your honey. Like, oh my God. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, no. Like, no. And it's like, I know that I should have stopped talking to him the minute he said, well, then we end here. I know. But there was a part of me that was just like, do you know what? Somebody needs to tell this guy he's a twat without calling him a twat, because there's no point in actually like name calling. That's like rude, offensive, and lowers me to his level. Like I just had it in me. I was like, no, do you know what? I won't just be like this meek girl that he's probably expected me to be. And it's like, no, I will tell you that you're weird. I will tell you that you're thinking extreme and that like, nah, that ain't gonna work. Do you know what I mean? No. No. And it's like this guy, and he keeps saying my name. Like this guy in this video, like saying my name. It's like, look, do you think that honing in on my name is going to what? Ground me down to your level? It's like, no, obviously not. Like, what an absolute tool. Just like this guy in this video. And it's crazy, because like I said, I can think of a couple of people who are like that, which means that that's 4 people, at least. It's like, how? Like, I don't get it. The entitlement of some men. I mean, I'm sure some women do it too, blah, 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 but the entitlement of some men that just think that a woman is there for their time. And it actually makes me sad, because there are like some amazing people out there and like, amazing guys out there, and they kind of get like clustered up in this like all men are pricks kind of thing. And actually, no. It's literally, it's just these select few that are bringing the entire gender down. I just don't know how these people, like, I don't know how they, like, get through life. Like, this guy in this video, he was what, let's say 24. He said 24, didn't he? He was 24. This guy I was talking to was 39, I think. Or somewhere between 35 and 39. He was in his late 30s anyway. I'm pretty sure he was 39. I could be wrong. And it's like, how the fudge did you get through life not being corrected for that kind of, like, male-dominating, weird, passive-aggressive / aggressive kind of behaviour? Like, how has nobody put you in your place? Like, do you know what I mean? I don't understand it. I actually don't get it. Like, it kind of baffles me. There is my... I met a weirdo man on an app. But I also met some wonderful men on the apps. So that's also cute. And they are my friends now. And I have lots of dinner dates coming up. So it's cute.